Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the fan page, Opening the Gates of the Heart. I'm Carolyn C.J. Jones, and I'm the author of the book. I'd like to just briefly tell you what we've been doing with our group here. We've been going through each topic that appears in the book as it appears in order, and we've been discussing a little bit about it. Hopefully you've been getting something from the wise words of wisdom from our bridge group. Today's topic is invitation of dialogue, and I'd like to show you the picture of that. And the verse is, if we as individuals cannot speak to each other, how then can we as nations achieve peace? So I'd like to start with that as an entry for our group. Thanks, Earlis. And I wonder if anyone might have any comments to make about that.
Inviting somebody to have a dialogue
Yes.
is hard for some people because they aren't used to talking to each other. And they have a chip on their shoulder, if I'm talking about nations. And so they don't want to be criticized. And if they don't want to be criticized, it's not a dialogue. It's a yes, 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 you're right, you're right, you're right. That's not a dialogue.
Well, wait a minute. Of course it is. I think you're off base here. A dialogue is two people. Is a conversation with two parts.
That's all it is?
It doesn't mean a controversy or anything. It's just.
I think she's referring to the fact that nations are not having dialogues with each other.
But they are.
That's not true either.
They are.
Well,
just
they are.
They're
Just
not.
not.
The consequences are not what we want.
Right.
So we're saying not. So we're saying that's not good.
I think when I wrote that, I was more referring to the fact that we as individuals don't talk to each other sometimes, and that if we as individuals can't talk to each other and be civil, then how can we as nations do that? That was what my intent was in that.
But I think in cultivating a dialogue, that's what you're working on.
Yes.
Maybe some controversial things come up, but a cultivation of a dialogue is just an exchange of ideas. In my mind, it's not a good or bad or assessment of it. It's just a dialogue, and sometimes dialogues get heated, but it's also everyone giving their opinion. And I think the best part is to be able to understand where someone else is coming from.
Right.
And learning from the dialogue as well.
Right. Right.
There is a saying, listen to with intent to learn, not to defend.
Oh,
Which I
that's
have always enjoyed
nice.
thinking about.
That's very nice. I'm going to have to write that down later and blog about it. Are there any other thoughts about invitation of dialogue and inviting people to have dialogue?
It helps to have it.
Well, the premise that we can't talk to each other, I think, is not quite right, because we do it all the time. Nations do it all the time. Children do it. Babies do it with their mothers. We all have
We
dialogue.
talk to each other, but that's the kind of dialogue I think she's referring to is a little richer than that. It's something where we actually communicate rather than defend our
Yes, Earlis.
point of view.
Yes, that's my intention in what I said. You've got that right.
And that was why I started out by saying you can't have a chip on your shoulder. You have to be willing to listen.
Right.
Keeping an open mind.
Keeping an open mind and listening.
Of course. Good idea.
Good idea. On that, let's end this topic and go to our next. So we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.